high school?
Mm-hmm.
Your high school ain't as long as my high school.
I've been out for 15 years.
Right Way Home Care is a non-medical home care agency. We specialize in personal care, light housekeeping.
You know, we do medication pickup, groceries.
I have a mother-in-law that's disabled, and that motivated me to see, to go in her house and see what was going on, and different caregivers coming in and out, and just motivated me to use my degree to start a business such as what she received.
So I've been doing healthcare since 2007. I go into nursing homes. I do skilled care.
My sister is in the healthcare field as a nurse, so we kind of balance each other out with the business part and the social work part. And then she does like the care and the training, the caregivers and everything like that.
She has something that I don't have, and I have something that she don't have, so we balance each other out.
In 2017, I created SayLess podcast. Then we created a network around that. I created a bunch of shows. We created a radio station, WTCP. Then 2021, this year, we went to TCP TV on Roku. So now we're on TV. So what's next? I'm thinking productions. I'm thinking movies. I'm thinking live performances. So how do I do that? Now I created TCP Entertainment. And we're gonna do all of that. We got a bunch of new shows. We got the ladies at Queen's Table, Vixen, 2X's, E, Badu, My Ace, Hollywood. We got the new show I'm creating with comedian Josh DeWay. I Hate It Here. He's hilarious. Y'all gonna love him too. Then we got Porque No. That's our first Spanish speaking show. I'm doing on site where I'm gonna be pulling up on people, just having real conversations. But our biggest project that we're working on right now for TCP Entertainment is TCP's Who Did It Best. And it's going to be business against business. And when I say business against business, I'm talking about COVID hit us really hard. So we're trying to do something to put a spotlight on these businesses that went through tough times during COVID. A lot of people had to close their doors. So what we want to do is not just have business against business, but we want to highlight these businesses and celebrate these businesses and put people back in these businesses. But yeah, you know, who got the best cheesesteaks in the city? Who does the best dark fades? We're gonna do all of that, man. TCP's Who Did It Best. TCP Entertainment's Who Did It Best. But yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna have the final say on all the cuts, so you know we about to turn up. It's TCP Entertainment, baby.
TCP Entertainment presents the TCP Laughs Comedy and Variety Show. Saturday, June 19th at the Zotropolis Theater, 112 North Water Street in Lancaster. Get your laugh on with some comedy, vibe out with some spoken word, with live R&B performances and more, to include a cash bar and refreshments for you to enjoy. DJ Lloyd Have Mercy will be on the set and sound, guiding the vibes. The TCP Laughs Comedy and Variety Show. Saturday, June 19th at Zotropolis in Lancaster. Doors open at 7 and showtime is at 8. Tickets are on sale now at Zotropolis.com or for information by phone at 717-219-8833. Brought to you by TCP Entertainment.
They use Amoroso's red.
Oh, yeah.
You're on. Mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. How's everybody feeling? SayLess is back in the building. And I still got bars. Yo. Hollywood.
You.
Queen's Table's back.
Yes.
You out here working double time?
Yes, I am. Always. I'm working triple time because I got to go to work tonight.
They gonna pay you time and a half for the days that you did 2 shows?
Shit, are y'all? I mean...
How's the first show though? What's up with Queen's Table?
Queen's Table was super duper lit today. It was our first episode, so we kind of got to learn like what we're gonna do moving forward. Constructive criticism is always important. Shout out to all of my cousins for being in the building to give us constructive criticism. Yeah, so we'll get better, bigger and better each time.
For sure.
First of all, everything I touch is gonna be gold. Speaking of,
oh, you hosting something in 2 weeks?
everything I touch is gold. You hear me? Let's get it.
Mr. Alonzo Williams Jr.
Chill.
How was your week?
My week was a week, and we're here once again.
We are here.
Sounds like SayLess Sunday. How was your week?
My week was
He didn't forget.
He did not forget.
He didn't forget.
It was my turn. That's why.
I did.
How was my week? My week was it was busy. It was busy and not busy, and it was yeah, it was good. I got something this week. Did you?
Somewhat.
Alexa, play some cut. Second.
I use scissors. Yeah, I got some cut. I use scissors.
Did you clap it of the cheeks?
I clap my hands.
I clap my hands. Oh, is that how you doing it? He said, that's how
the young
we giving
people
it
do
up.
it.
Super producer Marco, how was your week, bro?
Super busy, bro.
As usual, you was partying again this week. Yo, Marco, for those who don't know, Marco helps throws parties, and I swear they be it's damn near every week, right? Like
Yeah,
it's damn near
they
every
got events
week.
like Friday and Saturday every week.
I don't know how he does it because he does these Saturday night events, and then he comes in here all day Sunday for us. So we appreciate you, super producer
Always.
Marco.
The
Yeah.
goat. The goats.
I mean, look out for them parties out on Arcadia Road. You know, shameless plug. They be freestyling every week. I be almost wanting to get me today.
That's
Y'all gonna stop showing my age, okay?
Hey yo, we got super producer Marco on the boards. We got Alonzo Williams Jr. in the building.
Your kung fu is lousy.
We got Hollywood Bonnie in the building.
Because none of y'all are gonna fucking check me, and I'm still waiting for some to do it.
And I'm your host, Blast. This is SayLess Podcast, episode 135.
Yeah.
Ah! That's how the women, when they get hyped, they throw it back. And
Look, I had a flashback. PTSD. Jesus.
Flashback.
God.
Yo, can we talk about that?
What?
Why, when every woman gets
It's
drunk,
on the music, bro.
I'm sorry.
We
Why
go,
would
hey.
they always throw it back and look at it and it's hey.
And stick the tongue out a little bit.
Like, is there like is there something in women when alcohol hits the system? It's
When the Remy's in the system.
It depends on what you're drinking, and that's the thing. It's not just alcohol. Like if you see a girl going, hey, and it's because she had her drink of choice that night. There's drinks that, like, I know tequila makes my clothes come off because I get really hot. And
Lord of
like,
mercy.
yeah, like seriously, like when guys give Henny D, like maybe that girl had her drink of choice that night. I
was about to shout out the tequila that makes people do what she was just explained, but they didn't pay me yet.
Well, I will shout out tequila again, and I'm gonna do another shameless plug because y'all need to get y'all tickets sooner than later. Capacity is limited. Shout out to the tequila that we drink at what's that spot called? Tequila, Mexican Tequila Bar and Grill. There we go. We went there. Shout out to Colombiana. She was very, very, very hospitable. But yeah, afterwards I handed out like 50 million flyers in Park City. So if you got a chance to meet me, great. But if you want to see me in person and you know where to do it, pull up. $25 a ticket. There's a bar on site. There's food there. Doors open at 7 and show starts at 8.
Shameless plug.
Zotropolis.com. And I ain't got no shame in my game, so plugging all show.
Yes. For
So them tickets are gone.
I know how some of y'all spell on Facebook, so we're going to do it like this. Zotropolis.com.
Tropolis.
Tropolis.
.com.
.com.
Yes, but Zotropolis, Juneteenth, we turning up. I'm really, really happy.
Wait. Say that again.
Zotropolis.
No. The date.
Juneteenth.
June 19th.
Say it again one time for the people in the back.
Juneteenth. but that's what I was going to touch on too. Is that I'm really happy that it's starting to seem like we're all acknowledging this day, and this is our day now.
I'm just waiting so I can get off of work for it.
I mean,
I'm not even.
The NFL it's a day off in the
It's
NFL.
at the bottom of your screens, people.
Bottom
That's how
of your
you
screen.
spell it.
Yes, go click the bottom of your screen. Go to events, June 19th.
And if you
TCP
can't see it,
Labs.
enlarge your screen real quick.
Right. I ain't gonna spell it for y'all again.
Push that out triangle button, that the out arrow joint.
But you know
break it down.
what's crazy about just Juneteenth in general is the fact that like 10 years ago, I didn't even know about Juneteenth. Like I think I might have heard of it, but I didn't know what it meant.
I'm gonna have a truth moment right here. Because when I was in school, I did have African American history, but I didn't learn about Juneteenth. I don't ever recall learning about Juneteenth. Sure. And I graduated class president not one but 2 years in a row, so I paid attention in school. And I didn't learn about Juneteenth, and I had to educate myself as an adult on what Juneteenth was.
It's sad that they teach our trauma, but they don't teach our triumph.
Exactly. Say that again.
And they barely teach our trauma.
Yeah.
Until it's all over the news, and we don't have a choice.
Or they just they'll downplay our trauma. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this Juneteenth, we coming out, we laughing. There's gonna be poetry, there's gonna be music. My guy DJ Lord of Mercy is gonna be on the 1 and 2. It's gonna be a really, really good time. It's gonna be a cash bar. It's gonna be refreshments. Come out, have a good time. Hollywood's the host.
See,
with
look,
Kenzie.
I did it.
Yes.
It comes by nature. Look, I don't know why we do that. It's in our blood.
Can't even help it.
I can't help it. It just came out.
The cat is in there.
I do want to. All right. So this week I was reading, and I was actually on a couple different podcasts and radio shows I was listening to. Also, somewhere at private school in New York, first grade, they were teaching about masturbation.
In first grade.
In first grade. So these are
5 and 6 year olds.
5 and 6 year olds. And not just teaching about masturbation. They had a cartoon they played, and let's just get to the cartoon. And we'll touch on it after. Mm-hmm.
Do you notice? Pass it, Squeaks. Whoa! Watch it! You almost hit me in the pee-pee! What's so funny, you two? He said pee-pee. Do you notice that when you say pee-pee, you giggle, but when you say penis, you say it in a serious voice? I never noticed that before. Some children and adults feel uncomfortable when they talk about their private parts, so they make up cute or funny names for them. What's one for a girl's private parts? Vajayjay! But what does Scoops mean when he says vajayjay? He means vulva. That's right, Kayla. It's important to use the proper words for our private parts. Why? Because our private parts are just as amazing as our hearts, lungs, brains, or any other of our amazing body parts. But our hearts pump blood, our lungs breathe, and our brains think. All our private parts do is pee. That's not entirely true, Scoops. It is true that a person pees or urinates through a hole called the urethra in the penis. Does everyone have a urethra? They do. It can be harder to see, but girls have a tiny hole in the front of the vulva where urine comes out from their urethra. Urination is actually very important. It helps us get rid of waste, stuff our body doesn't need. Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air? That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private. Well, if private parts are so special, why do you cover them up? Because they are private, silly. That's right, Kayla, because they are private. Hey, Squeaks, pass it. Wait. Okay, I'm ready.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I think that it's wildly inappropriate. I'm wondering though if they had parents sign permission slips. Like, was there, you know what I mean? Because playing something like that, I would have rather seen it played in like a 7th or 8th grade health class. You know what I mean? Because it still does give cartoons. Because if we want to be honest, I know when I was in 8th grade, first of all, I still watch cartoons today. But when I was in 8th grade, that's when I was watching cartoons. You know what I mean? So it might be beneficial to kids that are of an older age. Don't tell my 5-year-old about masturbation, especially without my knowledge. Like, and let it be up to the parents to decide if and when they're ready. But then you could also, because it's a double-edged sword, some people aren't actual parents. They weren't even raised right. They don't talk to their kids about sex. They don't tell them, or they call it words like the no. You know what I mean? I do agree with some of what the video said. You do need to let them know what it is, because if a kid doesn't have anybody else to open up to and they go up to an adult and they say, oh, my no. Some people are really stupid. Like, they're really not going to put 2 and 2 together and realize what this child is saying.
Let me say this. I say that video sounded crazy. Let me say that first and foremost. That shit sounded like soft porn almost. Like that was hard.
At the end when he said, I'm ready.
That was hard to listen to.
And you're an adult.
It was hard for me to listen to, knowing that 5 and 6-year-olds would listen to that. But here's the thing. I remember, and I don't even know if you need to be taught masturbation. Like, do you? Cause I remember being a kid and like figuring out stuff felt good, and I kind of just figured that out on my own. I think everybody does. Do we have to teach everything now?
Kids be knowing too much already,
especially in this day and
age. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kids are like way ahead of where we were at their age. So like, can we at least wait till they can spell it
Seriously.
to teach. Like, masturbation
First off,
in
my
first
autocorrect-
grade is way above the spelling level.
My
And
autocorrect,
Vovala and
my
all that.
autocorrect had to kick in for masturbation when I typed it in. I just want to be clear on that.
I was a spelling bee champ, so.
I had the E where the U was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, because it ain't spelled the way you think it's spelled.
Yeah.
It got the
But
U and not the E.
It comes down to it too. Like, there is a such thing as infantile masturbation, and sometimes kids touch themselves and they don't even know. Like, at the moment, they're not doing it to be sexual. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's a lot of things like children like that I've worked with before. I've seen them like do things like hump the floor or play with their areolas, and they're doing it because they don't know what they're doing. They're just doing it because it feels good. These are kids that have no idea about sex, probably never will have sex, and I know have never had sex. It happens, so it's natural for them to be curious about their sexuality, but I think that needs to be a conversation that people need to have with their children.
Mm-hmm.
I think a conversation should be had about masturbation to the extent of you don't do it in public. Because
But you can't even say that, because I could take it back. Personal experience. I was 9 years old walking home from school. There was a man on the railroad tracks. Mind you, there's mad kids walking back and forth. He knew what he was doing. He had his pants down.
But that's why
He's a
like-
deviant.
and here's also the
and he was
reason.
masturbating in public.
Here's also the reason why you need to have those. You have to have those conversations. You don't have to have these cartoons because I was uncomfortable with that. But what I will say is, like, I remember being. I don't remember what grade it was, but I remember like a girl like rubbing on herself in class, and the teacher had to call her out and stuff. And we didn't know. Like, I remember not knowing
What
she
grade
was.
were you in?
I was young enough to not know what the hell she was doing.
Like little elementary school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
For sure. Elementary school, like primary, like young age. So yeah, and I remember her doing that, and the teacher calling her out, and I remember not knowing, but I remember now. But it was shit stands out to me from that young when it's something that is out of the ordinary, and that was out of the ordinary. But I'm saying like that to say there's no age limit on knowing how something feels good to us, man or boy or girl. Like, because I was at probably 9 or 10 when I felt like, yo,
This feels great.
this feels okay. Like, so there needs to be an explanation for that. But I don't think there needs to be a cartoon and saying like I don't even know how you have those conversations.
I feel like it might be enticing these kids to want to do it before they're ready, because how many, like you said, you didn't learn about it till you were 10 years old, 11 years old.
But what happens when you find out that it feels good and you have no idea why?
You have no
And
idea
then
what to do with it. You don't know what STDs are.
And then you're 8 or 9 years old doing it in class. Like, I mean.
But then, look, I take it back to this,
I mean,
because there's signs. The nurse in me wants to say that somebody probably touched that little girl. And I only say that because child abuse manifests itself in different ways. So like a lot of people don't know that bedwetting is a sign of child abuse, molestation. Like, these kids are internalizing things and they don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
So it is good to talk about things like that so that people are aware, but at the same time,
I think first grade is way
it's too much.
It's way too young for 6. Now, if, like you said, if say 8 years old they get caught, that's a person by person. That's a individual counseling.
Yeah.
That's not for you got one out of 20. That's individual. Because everybody else is gonna laugh. They gonna think it's crazy.
They gonna talk about her. They probably teased her for years.
If they had sent that video home and said, "Is this okay to show to my child in first grade?" I would have.
Hell no.
There's no way. There's no way.
No.
Because you know when they're that young, then you got to talk about Vovala forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the first time I heard vulva since school. So.
Yeah, and then some. I'm not even gonna get into that. Like, I want to know who made the video. Like, was it a doctor
All
or
I'm saying
someone
is
in
too,
healthcare?
as
because I even in watching what we watched before the show, I was like, that's not right. But whatever.
But the education might be good, because from what I hear from some women, some grown men still can't find
They
the
can't
vulva.
find it. Damn right.
So there you
So
go.
I mean, ladies, at the end of the day. Ladies, what we're going to do is this. I know a lot of grown men watch cartoons too. Play it for your man. He might need a little guidance. You might have to show him, like, draw a diagram.
That's
right
cold.
there. Move down an inch a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Get to the vulva.
Not even the vulva. We don't, and that's the thing. I don't want you to touch my vulva. Get to my clit. Period. Like, period. That's it.
Like,
just get there.
You know, that first time be like an eye-opening experience, but like we don't need a 6-year-old to know about that.
No, that's uncomfortable. That's
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Because in reality, like how many 6-year-old? I mean, kids do walk in on their parents, but how many? I mean, that's not everybody.
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Remember that video, little boy? He was like, and you said, and Daddy said,
And I'm glad I'm not raising kids anymore because mine are grown and I don't have to like keep raising these because society's changing to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable because we gotta be okay with everything.
They don't even want kids calling their parents anymore.
I'm not okay.
I mean, mom and dad.
I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I'm not okay with everything, and we live in a society where if you speak out on not being okay with certain things, and I'm not before anybody. I'm not speaking on anything specifically. I'm just saying like everybody has a voice now. Everybody has an audience. Everybody has a army ready to go to war for them and some shit.
Whatever.
Like,
social media.
I don't give a fuck about your army. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I'm not speaking about anything specific again.
That's exactly what I mean. Look, let's stop talking.
The fact that I even gotta say that is but anyway, yeah. So
parenting's different, marriage is different,
everything, literally.
Your president went
Who's
to
president? Which one?
Are we not claiming this one?
He's our president.
I'm claiming Biden.
Right.
I'm claiming
So
for now.
Joe,
So, you know what? No, get rid of my fucking student loans, okay? Do what you said you were gonna do.
No, that's not gonna happen.
That's why I know I'm not claiming
He just got here, though. He just got here.
Joe Biden made a trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma, also with Vice President Kamala Harris, on the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre, what we know as Black Wall Street. And he went there and acknowledged that we need to, basically, he said America needs to acknowledge the good and the bad. And it was the first time a president has actually traveled there. And honestly, if I can tell you my take, and I didn't even see anybody's personal take because I didn't read anybody's shit on this. Usually I see what people were saying and I didn't. This is my personal take. I don't give a fuck that he went to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Me either.
And also not that I don't give a fuck that he went to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think that everybody who's related to the people who were involved in that massacre, if you can't give reparations to everybody, you know that they were creating generational wealth in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know that was happening.
It was already created.
So all of their family needs reparations. And I don't give a fuck if the president goes there and says we're sorry. Fuck that sorry. Pay them. Because they owe that. Pay that. Pay them people.
My reaction to him going to Tulsa is, where's our bill?
Yeah.
The Asians got there. We've been here since the beginning. Where's ours?
It took the Asians a couple months to get an Asian crime bill passed. Asian hate bill. And the LGBTQ community, they get their hate bill crime. And listen, I'm a supporter of all of that.
Black people support everything. When y'all gonna support us?
But here's the thing. They were still fighting to get an anti-lynching bill passed. They've been lynching black folks since the beginning of this country. Like, that's a thing. Like, they have flags with the...
It's
with
still
the,
a thing.
Like, and there's Republicans arguing that we should not get... Like, we can't have that be a hate crime. But Asians can have their thing because of coronavirus, coronavirus is a year old. Like,
yeah.
So they got results in a year, and they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but you mean
waiting?
We've been over here for
the beginning.
Since y'all brought us here, y'all love us to go back.
400 years.
We built this country.
400 years, and we didn't even say if you beat a black person up, it's a hate crime. We said if you hang a black person, it should be a hate crime, and they had people that debated that. What are we working with? How do we give a fuck about the law and the presidents, and how do we have faith in any of that when We see what it is.
At this point that we are in our country, like people of the melanated community, black people, we've made our own way, and that's what pisses people off. Because no matter what you do to us, no matter what situations you put us in, we always fight our way out of it. We always find a way to triumph in the end. We sing and we celebrate. We love each other. We do all of that in the midst of this fucking chaos that's this country that we live in.
And you know the foulest thing about that, like we
We're
make
resilient.
we make our own way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We make a way, and then they jump in and capitalize off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Like it's not ours. It almost taking it from us every time.
Excuse me for fanning. I hope you. What y'all think about this damn heat wave though? Jesus God.
yeah, it's and we do have AC in our office. I ain't don't have us there, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
the
Excuse
heat
me for
wave-
fanning, but
the
it
heat wave
is
got a
hot.
little hot in this building. But yeah, I don't even like.
How do we fix it at this point? Because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of it because it's been acknowledged. Like they've said, I don't want to hear sorry anymore. Like I want to see action, and I would love to see it before my grandmother closes her eyes because she's watched it and they've been waiting. You think we've been waiting? There are still people who are actually sharecroppers that are still waiting.
Like
Still.
the whole world marched for us, and we still where's
didn't get
ours?
resolved.
That's the thing.
Where's ours?
That's the other thing. Like
But
last
you
year,
want us to clap?
last year at this time, we were marching, we were protesting. I think it was the anniversary, right, a week or two ago of
2 weeks.
of George
Last week.
Floyd's death. Breonna Taylor's birthday was today or yesterday, I think. And we were protesting. We was in this, and we like not just we. We're not saying we, like us, really.
The whole world.
We were actually out there and protesting, and it felt like the whole world's out here. We want change, and it seems like it's so crazy to me because and I keep going back to the Asian community because here's the thing: in the Asian community, they weren't here longer than us. They haven't put in more sweat equity than us in this country. But it took them months to get something passed and done because something bad was happening to their people. And 400 years we've been fighting, and every time we fight for anything, it's one thing at a time. You ever notice that? Like it's
One thing at a
one
time,
thing
yeah.
at a time. Everything's fucked up against us, but we fighting for let the cops stop fucking us up. Back in the 60s, it was let us not sit on the back of the bus. We don't want to be segregated anymore.
Let us
we
use
were
the
trying
same
to vote.
restrooms. Let
The
us
vote. We fight for one thing at a time when there's hundreds of things that's so fucked up, and I don't understand it.
us.
And at this point, we have a black woman in a position of power. She's not a first lady. She's not somebody. She has influence. She's also in Congress. So my thing is this: like, what are those people doing? That's my question. Like, and I don't follow a lot of politics. I'm not going to sit up here and fraud like I do. I'm not interested in too many politics. Like, I do vote, of course, but I don't need to watch anything on politics. I'm not in politics. But somebody needs to do something. Like, what do we do as a people? Like, because we taught ourselves how to create generational wealth. But it's so sucky that because of the times and technology and things like that, we kind of... Thank you. I can't catch, but thanks.
I do want to say one thing about Black Wall Street in general. It was the 100th anniversary, and I do think those people need to get paid. What I do see is a renaissance happening with people of color in general. That there's a lot of LLC work going on out there, and I applaud everybody out there who's starting their own businesses, following their dreams, taking that jump, because I see a lot of that happening right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm that makes me proud because at least we're
It's
coming
starting.
around. We're learning, and me myself too. Like we're all learning, and we're becoming these things that our ancestors paved the way for. Because we should be a lot further along than we are, and it's not all of our fault that we ain't.
It's absolutely not.
Listen, man, it's not our fault, and like
Yeah, we are some fault.
regardless of how slow people believe we're moving, like slavery's only 150 years.
That's the other thing. We're actually living it, so it seems long.
But my thing
Slave-
is this: like, I want it now.
True.
Because everybody else does.
It's not
Everybody else
fair.
got
It's
it.
not fair. There are people that have died that deserve it.
We don't realize how long, we don't realize how long it's going to take for us to recover generation by generation. We don't realize that as a whole. Like, we want it now. I want it now. But at the same time, I realize 400 years of slavery, that's a lot
Take it
of
back to the
that's a lot of trauma to go through a lot of generations.
Take
Why
back
does it
to
not?
even
Why does it
remove
not make
massive
sense?
violence from the households? They removed the men from the households.
It like
Yeah, that's more
And
recent.
that-
Thing. But here's why does it not make sense for every citizen to be treated equally? Like, why is I understand why there has to be a poor and there has to be a rich for capitalism to work. That's just how capitalism works. Capitalism doesn't work if there's only an upper class.
If everybody's
there has to
winning.
be poor people.
Somebody
I
gotta
understand.
lose.
But why do citizens by color have to be treated different? Like, I don't understand. And maybe it's because blacks make up that much of a percentage of the poor, which I don't even think. Like, I don't know.
13% or 12.6% of 100 can't account for that much poor.
Not when the poor is that big, right? Like, because the rich is what, like 2% of the country. The wealthy,
1%.
So
1%.
So 98%. Yeah, no, it's not. Most poor people in this country are white.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
Don't tell the people on TV that.
So it doesn't make sense for them to treat us a certain way unless they're just not over their old ways.
It makes sense because that's how the machine works.
How can you be for all of the people as a congressman and then go before Congress and speak into a microphone that you're against making lynching an anti-hate bill?
Because
anti-hate crime.
It's been okay for a long time.
Because they're trying to get reelected. And that's not a popular take.
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. But
I mean, politically, speaking for humanity, it doesn't make sense. But speaking politically, you want to get reelected, you don't go all in for us.
I guess when you got a racist constituent, you could just really stand up there with a straight face and be
a bullshitter.
Yeah, a
paid
racist.
bullshitter.
On a lighter note, this whole week has been buzzing with these hip hop Mount Rushmores. Have y'all seen these? There's been a few of them.
I saw, but I didn't get into it at all.
Well, I want to play around with a couple of them. I want to. Who the fuck is on this one? How you got hoopers
Why
and
is Drake
rappers
with
on the
LeBron and Diddy?
I don't even know what this one is. I have no idea. Drake should not be on there with LeBron and Diddy.
They be clapping at all the games. He could be on there.
But yeah. So all these hip hop Mount Rushmores, I think of 2010 to now was they had Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, and they was like pick a fourth. So
auto-tune.
I want to ask.
A microphone? Microphone?
If auto-tune was
with
a person,
auto-tune
put it
written
right
on
there.
it?
Who's the fourth person?
The microphone with auto-tune written on
J.
it?
Cole, Kendrick.
And Drake. For 2010 to now, basically.
For this.
J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar.
And the auto-tune
I
microphone.
don't think that those even go together. I don't think. I mean,
Well,
it's not even
three.
about them going together, but even as far as being most influential.
They're the best.
They were the three.
Are
biggest, they? They were the three biggest.
They're good.
They're the best.
No. But
I mean, I'm talking about
by sales and money. They are the biggest
They're the
artists
best.
of the decade.
Well, then put Dirk on there. He made numbers this year. What about Lil
the
Durk?
past 10 years?
The past 10 years, no, those three just
don't Dirk use auto-tune? That goes right back to what I was saying.
I like all of them.
And if you
Put
go to add
Kanye.
anybody, if you go to maybe
Kanye,
but
easy.
Kanye, how many dope albums? Because most of his happened before 2010.
Oh,
Nah, he had
Pablo.
how many he had at least 4 this decade.
Pablo was the only great album he had this decade. Every other album.
Pablo, what's the one I hate by being bipolar, or I love it or whatever.
I don't know.
Yay.
No. Yay. can't be in this decade. This ain't his decade.
What else was out? Yeezus. I didn't
Honestly,
like
here's
that.
what I was gonna say, and I'm not a fan of his, but I've seen the influence. I've seen all of what he's done. It almost has to be in my head Future,
He uses auto
because he's the father of all of this shit that's out now.
First of all, he's a father.
Let's,
Shut up.
all right,
Shut up.
since
Shut
we
up.
already mentioned him. Let's get it right. Kanye is the father of all.
Yeah,
this.
but he wasn't
Amen.
he wasn't doing it with the like these dudes are rapping gangster shit over that auto tune.
I
Listen.
will say that Future was the turning point.
You know,
Future kind of transitioned into
Over
making
trap
it
beats
cool.
and
and
the
you know
Yeah.
what? You know what
Rap.
though? And you know what? Put Kanye up there because 808s and Heartbreaks is the father of modern hip hop.
And what year did
Or you know
Oh,
what
wait.
else?
08? It can't be.
Know who
2010.
else
It
I'll
got
put
to
up
be
there?
because
2010.
listen,
2010 to now.
No who I'll
Kanye did
put
not
up
drop.
there?
That can't be.
And he ain't even really a rapper.
Yo.
But his name's all over everything, and he does music. Another one. DJ Khaled. Put Khaled
He's
up
not a
there.
rapper, though.
He's
Yeah,
not a
he's
rapper.
rap.
But he's listen, those songs all have his name
This
on
is
them.
my-
Why isn't he
You
a
know who
rapper?
else rightfully belongs it? To me, there's only two answers as far as rappers go for
Who?
2010 to
Future
now.
and who?
Future, and mind you, I'm not a fan of neither one of these people, but I see their influence and what they've done and the numbers and all of that shit. And it's either Future or Nicki Minaj. It has to be.
it got to be Nicki
Nicki
Minaj.
Minaj.
Nicki could hold it down for the women. I would give her that.
She was
it's
the
Nicki
only.
Minaj.
She was the only female artist for most of that decade, and then she done birthed a bunch of women that are rapping today.
Just like her.
and they sound and look like her. They move like her. Like,
They want to be Roman so bad.
it gotta be Nicki or Future. Just look at all the young. I'm not talking about what we like.
I love
Nicki.
me some
Yeah,
Nicki.
it got to be Nicki because she's everywhere.
See, and I'm Team Cardi, but
And-
you know what? I'll take it. Itty Bitty Piggy Nicki. Even though it might have been before 2010, Itty Bitty Piggy Nicki.
We talk about and with the Kendricks, Drakes, Cole. They all had over a decade run. Nicki did too.
Yeah, it got to be
right
Nicki.
while they was hot. She was hot. She came out when Young Money first came out. That was what 2008, 2009. Like
It was
But
amazing.
yeah,
remember they had the Young Money album with the I'm
I
trying
can
to.
make your bed rock.
we
Yeah.
can't
That
we
still
can't name
slaps
Kanye
today.
disciples. It got to be Nicki.
Nicki.
Nicki, I'll give it to Nicki because there needs to be a woman up there anyway.
Because I say that because everybody's stuck in 808s, like everybody's stuck in 808s and Heartbreak Chamber.
So what if it was women of all time, women rappers all time?
Queen.
B. Or which
No,
queen?
I'm talking about.
Look, I'm saying
Latifah.
Queen B. Kim
Latifah.
belongs on there because Kim made it to the way that it is today. She birthed the City Girl.
She
birthed
birthed everything
she
out
birthed
right now.
Nicki.
I think
She
Kim belongs
birthed
with that.
shit. She kind of birthed Foxy.
So Queen, Latifah.
Because I fuck with Foxy the hard way.
Latifah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Kim, I guess Nicki. Who's the fourth?
MC Light.
Nah, you
No?
can't. Well, listen, MC Light to me is top
No?
one or two skill wise.
Okay.
So I love Light and I love Latifah. I would have took her off because Light belongs on there instead of
It's
Latifah.
either Latifah or Light.
Light then.
But
I like Latifah. She's
we
12
cannot speak about female hip hop and not mention Missy Elliott.
Pew, pew, pew. I still don't even know what the
Listen,
fuck she was saying, but it's champion.
Like,
Yeah, that's it.
shit.
Splashed and killed the game for
That's
like
it. Because-
as long as she was, yeah.
because-
I'm super
because
fly,
she's-
super duper fly.
Missy was to us what Nicki Minaj, Missy minus the looks and all that. She's what Nicki Minaj. She was writing for everybody.
Impact.
She was like she was doing so much.
Look at her videos,
Looks
her writing.
overshadow talent though, and that's what we all need to be mindful of.
That's-
Looks definitely overshadow talent.
Now,
Now
So we say
too.
what?
not when Missy was rocking, because Missy was the
Nah.
biggest thing in the
Yeah.
game, and when she came in the game, she was heavy.
Yeah,
She came in
true.
with the
She was-
he
and
how.
she was so dope.
With her suit, the big puffy suit.
He how.
Yeah, she was making her own beats and everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we gotta. I would say like impact, influence, and all of that. I would have Light, Missy, Kim, and Nicki Minaj.
But I put I put Dana Owens over Light because over multiple platforms acting. Latifah's in one of our favorite hood movies.
And you know what? I might switch it to what you said because Latifah had a label.
See, but then you gotta ask: Are we
she had the
talking
flavor
that?
unit.
Back then.
Yeah.
Are we talking like acting? Are we bringing that into it, or is it just
you
music?
got to bring everything. If we're bringing
the total package.
Okay, everything, the total package. Say
Latifah
that.
got it all. Because Latifah, regardless of what she was in, she was representing hip hop.
Yo, Girls Trip was hilarious. Like, that was it. Like, yeah, that was it.
The females is easier though.
What do you mean? Why you say that?
Because there's not
As many of us?
10 million female MCs.
There ain't a million Lils.
The men, I'm not even going to try.
You know what, though? Let me take...
My Mount Rushmore is easy.
Well,
the fourth one's never easy. The top three is always easy for me. And honestly, if I was going to use the same metric, which I can't really for men because I'm emotionally tied to the three that can't move, which is Pac, Nas. Well, no, there's actually four. So Pac, Nas, Big, and J, I'm like emotionally tied to them dudes. But there's other guys that belong on there probably than... Because honestly, like I was saying, shout out to Opinionated Facts, and they brought it up. Because I would put Big in that Mount Rushmore, but honestly...
Big wasn't...
Against his... That wasn't his fault, but he don't belong in there.
Look at me. You better watch your mouth.
He don't belong. He has 2 classic albums. But...
That's it.
There's a lot of... Listen,
How many did Tupac have? Somebody educate us.
Tupac had like 5... Wait. We had...
He ain't no 5 classics. Yeah, Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me, I know was a classic. Here's the other thing.
All Eyes on Me. Me Against the World.
That was
Apocalypse.
dope. That was dope.
I get
Me,
But Biggie, here's the thing.
Strictly for my niggas.
Biggie, and I said this about when they talked about it. OP Facts talked about, I said that Biggie was the Bo Jackson of hip hop.
Yeah.
Because he had that.
Yeah.
Like,
Tupac had 8 albums. 8 albums. How many of them were classic?
He had 8
Y'all
albums
can
and
name
like
how many?
thousands of unreleased tracks.
2.5.
I'm already counting 11.
2.5. 2.5.
Pac had like he had like he had like mad. Remember they was releasing Tupac unreleased songs for like 10 years.
If you really think about it, and Biggie was a better rapper than Pac, but Pac has
influence.
Pac has more.
Pac had the entire West on his back.
Pac has more great music than Big, because he put out way more music than Big. He just does. And I'm not saying Pac don't got no duds, but I'm saying like just by numbers, he has more music than Big. So he got more. I would say.
Can I ask a question? Why Jada can't be on Rushmore?
If there's only 4, I can't put Kiss on it. Kiss is in my top 10. But Kiss he don't have that album that stamps him.
He don't got the influence.
You don't even think when he was with Locks?
He don't got the influence.
That's my favorite group.
Yeah.
That's and Kiss is top 10 to me. But he don't have that album that can stand against Illmatic or Reasonable Doubt or Ready to Die or he don't have that album. And that's the only thing. And I'm saying like and the thing about Kiss, which is sad because he's never spit a whack verse.
Ever.
But he don't have that album that just is like, yo, that's the album we always run to for Kiss. No, when I go listen to Kiss, I go listen to all of his shit. Like I just pick songs from all of his music. But if I was gonna say my Mount Rushmore, I would say Pac, Nas, Jay, and speaking objectively. If I'm not speaking as a fan, the same way I did for the females, and I added Nicki Minaj, I would say I would have to put Drake in there because Drake, I've never seen it. There's never been a run in hip hop where you've been the biggest artist in the game for a decade. Like you've been undisputed the #1 artist every time you dropped for a whole 10 years. We've never seen that from any artist ever.
All right, I got.
Before you go any further, Pac, he released 4 before he died, and then 7 were released after.
Only 4.
So it was a total of 11.
That's because he's not dead for
He had 4 before he died. All right, then Machiavelli came out that same year.
The only ones I would call classic to me are Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me.
Not Me Against the World?
Me Against the World was fire.
That's my...
But there's skippers on there.
All right, so all right. I'm gonna
there's
do
a couple
one real
trash
quick.
songs on it.
Jigga Man, Pac, Kanye, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I don't even care. Easy for Sheezy.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
This is why. And E4, I'm not mad at that because E40 is a West Coast legend, and there's no disrespect for everybody on the East Coast to where we live that don't fuck with him. But if you're gonna say anybody from the West Coast, it gotta be Dre.
Snoop.
Or Snoop. But it gotta be Dre or Snoop. Anybody from the West, it gotta be Dre or Snoop. Like
Easy.
Ice Cube.
Easy was a leader from the beginning.
Here's the thing about
if y'all put Latifah on there, you better put Cube on there.
No, but here's the reason. He put Yayo in there, and he put Yayo in there for the reason he got dope albums and he's produced.
No. I put Ye on there because half of these dudes, when I go on Apple Music Friday morning, Saturday night, and I push play on a song that just came out from an album that just comes on, it sounds like 808s and Heartbeats Chamber.
That's why you have to put Dre on there, because Dre is the West Coast. There's no generation from the West Coast he hasn't touched. TDE, Kendrick is signed under Aftermath. Like, everybody from the West Coast comes out under Dre's. He's touched everybody. Like, the whole Cali, from E40 to Exhibit to all them dudes came up under Dre. Like, that's why. And I don't even like Dre's beats. I don't even put Dre as high. But I'm saying, like, from the West Coast,
I'm taking Earl.
My Rushmore looks different than y'all's because
Earl
I'm
Simmons?
No. Earl, Easy for Sheezy.
Who the hell is that?
40 Water. I'm taking
E40.
I'm taking Charlie Hustle.
Tell me when to go.
Why? I'm not mad. Just tell me why.
Yo,
E40 is a legend.
He has everything.
He's an entrepreneur,
He has everything.
What about Wu-Tang?
Y'all want to hear mine?
No.
Yes.
Yours is gonna be.
I want to, yeah, because you're younger than me. I want to hear you.
This is not Queen's Table. This is SayLess. Fuck you, Red. Okay? Okay? And I said what I said. I mean, you don't got no choice. Say no, I'm playing. I'm just joking with him. But this is, I had to, first of all, because I'm sophisticated anyway. I was sophisticated on Queen's Table. Fuck you, Red. This is SayLess. I can say what I want.
You can't say it twice.
Shout out to Brandon Rudolph and his show. I mean, you have a show. What's the show called?
It's called the Rudolph Podcast.
Exactly. But anyway,
Red and Jet.
my Rushmore, and I'm going to say it because I tossed a little bit. I'm not a super duper hip hop head, but Rushmore should be well versed because it is like whatever. They're all artists and those were all presidents. So mine goes like this. I say Kanye, Weezy, Lil Wayne, I say Nipsey, and then I say Beyonce.
Hip hop?
Hip hop, I do what I want. I told you I'm not a super duper hip hop head, but if I was to be able to create
So we'll say Jay-Z.
There you go.
We'll replace her with Jay-Z.
And if y'all said hip hop, because I wrote both down, I said
I'm only mad at the Nipsey one.
Nicki,
and I love Nipsey.
Nicki. Okay, well then if not Nipsey, it was between him and Drake for me. I say again Kanye or J. Cole and then Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne belongs on there.
I wouldn't argue with Drake being on somebody's.
I'm not mad at Weezy
Rushmore
or Drake
either.
on anybody's Rushmore. I'm mad at Nip, and I love Nip.
Why?
I'm a super Nip fan. I want
The
you
past
to know.
10 years?
I want you to know on 2017 when his first studio album Victory Lap came out. I was the one before his death to be on the internet talking about that was the best album of the year, and people.
You said that?
Yeah, and
I
people
remember seeing that.
Yeah,
And when I heard it, I was like,
people was jumping on me like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yo, this is the best
Just
album of the
wait
year."
on it, yeah.
And then he passed, and then everybody started.
yeah, everybody with like a million fans on it.
So I don't want it to be like Nip is my guy, but the reason that I say that is because Victory Lap was his baby. He was out before that doing a bunch
He
of
was
mixtapes.
out for a long time.
But that was his first studio album, and if we're judging off of albums,
Though the underground ones don't count.
nah, they were fine.
They
too.
put in the same work that those people did. They
weren't
just didn't
Victory
have a
Lap,
label
though.
behind them. These niggas own their masters.
His mixtapes had gems.
These men own their masters.
They had
excuse
gems
me.
on the mixtapes, but Victory Lap was you could play that the whole way through.
Yeah.
That was a masterpiece.
You still can.
And I don't think his mixtapes was that. But I love Nip, and that's respect to the whole West Coast. Please don't. Nip is my guy. I think that was a sentimental pick. I think Drake should take that instead of.
I mean, Drake, his ethic. I mean, it would be for me. It would be between him and Kanye. I can't. Kanye has to be on mine anyway because he's a creative genius. He's crazy as hell, but he's a creative genius, and I can't even call him crazy because he has mental health issues. He's a fucking. I'll say it again. Creative genius.
To me, Yeezy came out the gate with 3 classics.
Yo,
that's unheard of.
With his mouth wired shut.
It wasn't just a classic.
There's only a couple other artists.
The stuff he did for Jay-Z, the stuff he did for Monica, the stuff he did, you know what I'm saying?
And then the fact that his influence, the fact that when he started wearing tight clothes, you gotta remember the whole hip hop scene was baggy. It was him, and then Dipset started doing it. And then everybody
he made book bags cool.
It was crazy to me when because remember he came out wearing the blazers and stuff like that, and I'm up here looking like, yo, my dad dressed like that when I was like 6 years old in the early '80s. Like he ain't doing nothing new, but everybody followed it. That's what's up.
Ye made it cool for the squares to be in hip hop. Like when Gay came in the game, it was all gangster shit. Like
Lupe Fiasco. Think about the people that he's introduced us to.
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco,
his whole influence. Everybody
Big Sean,
Cole, Kendrick, Drake. They all say they're influenced by Ye.
It wasn't
like
Ye. He came in as a regular guy. He had his food though back
then.
He came in as a regular guy.
When he came into Rockefeller, they looked at him like the weirdo.
Yep.
Like he was the odd guy. Like
Katrina. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off like that, but Katrina said that. Rakim.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either.
Katrina.
Hey, Katrina.
Katrina's a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not gonna say your age, but she's a couple years old, so I'm not mad at the Rakim.
Tanya said Remy.
I love Remy, and I'm always team Remy.
One? Remy only got one album.
If it come down to Remy versus Nicki, it's tough for me. It's tough for me, but I love Remy for different reasons.
As an artist, she can't hold a candle.
Scarface.
I'm not mad.
Scarface,
at I'm not mad at
you
the
say
face
that, yeah.
Faces, yeah. I'm not mad at that.
But see, like it's
different eras.
Hip hop is too broad and got too many subgenres.
Because when people say stuff like that,
to
you
narrow
say
it to 40
like when did they put up Mount Rushmore?
I can tell you.
We had what? 30-something, 20-something presidents, maybe 30
Barack
presidents.
Obama belongs on there.
I don't want to hang up on the Mount Rushmore. Monique said this week that she's against the bonnet shit. She went in the airport. She's in the store. She said she's off that bonnet shit.
This is why people don't like Monique. And I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying people do not like Monique because she is a woman of color talking about what has been speculated to be women of color. She's the auntie that corrects you, whether she don't give a fuck if you fuck with her or not. I respect that about Monique, but everybody can't take that. If a white person would have came on there and said, "You guys don't need to wear your bonnets," they would have been like, "Oh."
But it should be someone like Monique. It
should be.
I'm not saying,
Absolutely should be.
I'm not saying her message is right or wrong because I'd rather hear your answer first.
Yeah.
But
my bonnet's in my car.
I think if someone's gonna say that, it should be a Monique, Wanda Sykes, or Oprah, or
Ayanla,
or Patti LaBelle. Somebody, one of the OGs.
She should have Monique. You should have left that to Ayanla because she can look everybody in their face and say you're a hot mess.
Wow.
And it's okay. You know what I mean? But Monique is looked at differently. And like I said, I don't disagree with what she said.
She said it respectful, too.
She did say it respectfully. She tried to come from the auntie perspective. And we all have aunties that we don't want to listen to, but they be saying a lot of the right stuff. I was raised, my mom has always taught me, when you go out of the house, you go out of the house well put together. Not only because you never know who you're going to see, you never know what opportunity you could be afforded while you're outside of the house, and she just raised me different than that. I also don't agree with people doing shit like wearing their pajamas to drop their kids off and, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Now, however, I will say, I have my bonnet in the car. First of all, but I say that to say this. My windows are tinted. Like, nobody sees me like that. And I only say that, like, bonnets are for protection. They're to protect a black woman's crown. That's why we wear bonnets. We wear bonnets when we have curlers in our hair and we just need something cute to cover everything up because we might have an event later that day. You don't know why. Like, first of all, I'm about to get on a plane. I don't care if I'm cute to you or not.
But here's the thing that Monique...
I'm about to go to sleep and be real ugly. Stay tuned. Like, get the hell out of here.
But everything that you're saying, when it comes from Monique...
It's different.
A woman who's been
That's why I say it's
she's
better.
Been on the road her whole life.
And I know her old hairdresser. Shout out to my
She don't got a everybody don't got a hairdresser on hand either.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody doesn't have somebody else like we do.
I'll say this. I'm going to say this. As far as the bonnets and this and that, I don't even want to speak on that because black women, I love y'all.
You never know what's going on under there. That's what it comes down to.
But I want to say this because it ain't just the bonnets for me. When I see the women in the bonnets at the airport, at the stores, at the malls,
you don't think nothing of it.
I see the bonnets with the pajama pants and the slippers.
It's the combination.
And that... You're doing too much.
It's the combination.
I'm technically dressed right now, so if I go get my bonnet from my car and put it on, is it okay?
If you put
my bonnet on what I have
you don't
on right now.
got slippers and pajamas on.
If I have on, okay, so if I put my bonnet on,
would you come on the show like that?
Absolutely, I wouldn't go outside like that.
You know what? For me, it's not.
So you would not come on the show like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so she's right.
But my thing is this: she is right. In my opinion, she's right. But like I said, I stand on what I said. Like, again. It's a protective style. I'm being brutally honest here. Y'all don't know what the fuck is going on underneath that bonnet. So that bonnet might look a whole hell of a lot better than what's going on underneath it. And that's what men don't realize. And me as a woman, I know, like, when I wear my bonnet, like today, first and foremost, I'm transparent here. I have a lot of hair, okay? However, right underneath of here, I have some straight backs. So when I got here, I had my fucking bonnet on, and as I should, because that's better than the Clio straight backs. What do you want?
And it's hot out.
We can't do anything. At the end of the day, Monique, your message should have been portrayed. Tell these men to pull their pants up. Do something like that.
I'm with that too, and sometimes my shit.
For me, like a bonnet by itself, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's the
slippers. Yeah, cool.
First of all, y'all this is SayLess. I can say it. Y'all done got some good pussy out the bitches with the bonnets. What's up?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
In public, like I said.
Come on, it's unacceptable.
You got a bonnet on, okay, cool.
It's unacceptable for people like Monique and for people like us who do things like this. But people who are raised in wherever they come from, certain people, the bonnet is okay. And if their bonnet is okay and they're okay with their bonnet, then mind your business.
In public though,
I don't care. That's not me. What they eat don't make me shit.
No, you know what? Here's what I was trying to finish. The bonnet, slippers, and pajamas all together.
It's too much.
That's a combination.
It's too much. And this is why it's too much. Because...
So then do y'all need to stop wearing basketball shorts and beaters and Nike slides?
This is
I don't wear slides in public,
I'm not saying...
Unless I'm at the beach.
You don't? Okay.
This is my thing. And so I'm not attacking black women.
Yeah.
I want black women to
do better.
Because there are no bonnets... And I think it's fuck the bonnets. There's the pajama pants, the slippers, the indoor clothes. You got your indoor clothes on outside, and there's no other Latinas. I see y'all doing it too. The hood is doing it.
The hood is doing it.
And it just looks tacky because nobody else is doing it, and that's my thing because they like.
But I take you here. You said the hood is doing it, and I didn't want to go there, but you're kind of right. So my thing is this. So since the hood is doing it, and the hood is okay with wearing bonnets, that's all they know. They ain't never going to, like, they don't give a fuck, like,
it's
that's
not,
all they
it's
know.
not the bonnets for me. It's the pajamas. And, it's the getting out of bed.
They not going nowhere but to the corner store sometimes. What the fuck?
If you're in your neighborhood, that's different. I don't care about that.
Oh.
I'm talking about when you are at the airport or the mall or, like, you get dressed, present yourself. You ain't got to put the makeup and do your hair. Put your outside clothes on. You don't go to the store in your pajamas with no bra on and your nipples popping through your t-shirt. That shit looks crazy.
It does, and I'll give you that. But my thing is just like I said, they don't call me Hollywood for no reason. I do a lot of traveling. When I travel, I'm dressing comfortable and I'm dressing cute. If they're comfortable like that, And 9 times out of 10, the people with the bonnet on, they don't even give a damn what, you know what I mean, what Monique has to say. Some of them don't even know who Monique is. But I mean, I listen to her and I agree to a certain extent. And I agree with what she's saying. We do need to present ourselves, but I think that I only agree because I was raised like that.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. Everybody wasn't. Because I don't. My mom never stepped out of the house with even curlers in her hair.
Ever.
And my grandmother, they didn't do that. We don't do that.
We don't do that. We don't do that. That's just how I was raised, though. Everybody was raised like me.
For me,
if you're comfortable in your bonnet, sure, you rock out.
I mean, people are going to do what they do, but some stuff is for home and some stuff is for outside of the hood.
Yeah, let me be clear. Like
outside of your neighborhood.
The bonnet to protect your
crown, because that's what it is.
I know how black women are. I've seen.
Don't touch my hair.
I've seen my mother sleep like.
We call it sleeping cute.
Listen, I'm not mad. I'm not telling.
Y'all don't know how bad and what it takes to be a woman. Them braids be tight.
I just hate us fitting the description. I hate us fitting the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like that's what bothers me. That's the only thing. That's all I'm saying.
But my thing is this: if we're breaking the molds moving forward, even when it comes back to what we talked about as far as like reparations, we've been waiting. Why the fuck are we still trying to fit their molds? Because they come outside in Uggs and sweatpants and nobody says anything.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we talk.
No. I know men who will be like, leggings and sweats is sexy. First of all, leggings can be deemed inappropriate, especially if you got a fat ma. What's up?
Let's get it right.
But every woman wears them.
leggings and Uggs is sexy. Let's get it right.
Some of them don't wear leggings outside the house. Some women don't wear leggings without a long top that covers their front and their back. You know what I mean? It's different.
Well, keep wearing the leggings, take the bonnets off.
Stop it.
But you know what? Wrapping that up, I get what she's saying because we gotta be better than everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're always held
no matter what we're doing. We absolutely
have
to be better.
Always.
I mean, yeah.
But at the same time, they're gonna talk about us whether we do
or we don't.
Yeah.
I can have on a bonnet with lashes and a full face beat, and they still gonna talk shit. So.
What's under that bonnet, though? But nah, this last topic I want to touch on before we get out of here. They've been slaying D Wade for a long time now, and then D Wade he comes out this week and says that he lets his wife, Miss Gabrielle Union, and let me be clear, I'm not mad at him for letting Gabrielle Union lead his marriage.
Hell no.
But they slayed him, and I'm thinking that's Gabrielle Union. Let her lead what the fuck she wants to lead. But how do y'all feel about it?
Lead me the way, baby.
I mean, at the end of the day, the men are going to sexualize it, and the women will see what it comes down to. A lot of, in marriages especially, unless you're an alpha female, which a lot of people don't do, like you get... I just lost my train of thought, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, unless you're an alpha female, like we hold the household together anyway. Y'all might publicly get the recognition. Y'all might publicly get to act like you're in charge. And you know what I mean? Y'all might get that public when we're outside of the house. But when we're in the house, we're doing a lot of the footwork. A lot of it. So at the end of the day, if he's going to publicly come forward and say that his wife leads the household, they would consider him a simp. They did the same thing to Russell. To Russell Wilson, right? They did the same thing to him. They did the same thing. There's nothing wrong with a man appreciating and acknowledging and allowing his woman, who is more than capable of leading the household. It comes down to a pride issue, and a lot of men have that issue. I can guarantee whoever said that was somebody who, A, wasn't even married, might not even be in a relationship, and doesn't even know what they're talking about.
That he was a simp?
No, whoever said the original topic, like, oh, he lets his wife lead. Like,
no, he said that.
He said that, and people are coming at him for that. I'm saying the people who are coming at him for that are those people. They're not married. They don't like, those are those people.
Well, the one thing I would say is that I don't give a fuck what he does in his marriage.
Amen.
Like, and I brought the topic up because it's a good conversation piece. But
it is.
Honestly, someone who has been in a marriage, like, I don't give a fuck how big TCP gets. If some shit comes out between me and my wife, I don't owe nobody a fucking... Fuck you. What they gotta do, cuz?
SMDFTB.
Yep. Fuck you. I don't got... What I look like explaining my marriage?
And that's the
to
problem.
Anybody.
This is the generation and the era that we live in. Technology is so heavy. Facebook, and I'll take it to Facebook. Facebook has given a lot of y'all an opinion that it don't even matter.
All social media.
All social.
It doesn't matter. Like, y'all are all commenting on things. Like, I love to say, what y'all eat don't make me shit. Meaning, I don't care what y'all got going on in your personal lives. I don't care what you got going on in your household. But I'm going to comment on it because this is kind of what I'm here to do.
Yeah,
this is the only platform where you will see me. I said this, and this is what I think about that. Because in my real life, I don't give a fuck.
I just really wanted to know how we felt about like a man leading, because for real,
a woman leads it anyway.
I don't even want to this is not a show that I would ever. But I applaud Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade Jr. Mm-hmm. I applaud how they're raising their children. Mm-hmm. I applaud however they are making their marriage work, because none of that shit is my business.
Exactly.
Period.
If it works for them, why would you worry about it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What they eat.
Like if it's not working, oh yeah, we're here every Sunday for that. You know what I'm saying? But it works. Mm-hmm. So why aren't we applauding them?
The only thing I don't like is when they post pictures right after they smash and D-Wade. I could go without that on IG because I follow both of y'all. But I love the union.
Keep them in your personal camera roll.
I don't need to see D-Wade's pelvis.
You don't want to see the. You don't want to see the 8-pack with the V.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't for you, but you want to look at Gab's tits, don't ya?
I watched him play basketball since since he was in college. Like, I don't need to see him.
Well, sometimes us ladies want to see the 8-pack with the V because y'all ain't got it.
Yo, shout out to Gabby Union, shout out to D-Wade. Listen, June 19th. That is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. June 19th, Zootropolis, 112 North Water Street in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We need y'all to come on out, because it's going to be a whole situation. We got 5 comics. We got some poets. We got music acts, R&B, hip-hop. Listen, it's going to be a whole situation. Shout out to Zootropolis. They did nothing but be gracious. We was over there yesterday. I love working with them. It's been dope. Their food's amazing, too. We're not serving meals at the show, but you can get it before or after or whatever.
And the food's amazing. Got a microbrewery.
Yep, and you can eat your food. If you order your food before the show, you can bring it in and you can eat it during the show. No shade. And only if you're giving me some.
Barbershops, get ready to see me this week, because I'm going to be asking. Everybody. Lancaster's barbershops, I'm going to be asking.
Also, remember, they would prefer, if you want food for this show, please make a reservation, because
you can bring your whole meals into where the show is at, but you have to order it ahead of time.
So make a reservation,
because you don't want to make a reservation at 8:00 and then the show's starting and you're missing shit. So order ahead of time. Mm-hmm. But yes, Zootropolis. We have a bunch of great comedians. I know you've seen the flyers. The street team's working. The family's working. It's gonna be a great night. I promise you. Any shout outs before we get out of here besides that?
Shameless plug. Shout out to everybody, man.
Shout out to TCP Laughs.
Yeah,
often imitated but never duplicated. You heard? Oh, and I said what I said.
Shout out to TCP Entertainment.
Direct shots too.
We doing what we do. We don't gotta bite nobody's style. We don't gotta do what nobody else do.
Bro, we doing this today.
No, we not. We about to get out of here.
Yo, I love it. Come to TCP Labs Juneteenth. Yo, we got super producer Marco on the boards.
Yeah.
We got Alonzo Williams Jr. in the building.
Your kung fu is lousy.
We got Hollywood Bonnie in the building.
Because none of y'all gonna fucking check me.
And I am your host, Blast. This is SayLess Podcast, episode 135. We'll see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
TCP Entertainment presents the TCP Laughs Comedy and Variety Show, Saturday, June 19th at the Zootropolis Theater, 112 North Water Street in Lancaster. Get your laugh on with some comedy, vibe out with some spoken word, with live R&B performances and more, to include a cash bar and refreshments for you to enjoy. DJ Lloyd Have Mercy will be on the set and sound, guiding the vibes. The TCP Laughs Comedy and Variety Show, Saturday, June 19th at Zootropolis in Lancaster. Doors open at 7 and showtime is at 8. night. Tickets are on sale now at Zootropolis.com or for information by phone at 717-219-8833. Brought to you by TCP Entertainment.